Well, Palantir has been on a tear for over a year now. I mean, all the geniuses were saying it's going back down like it did before, but per their usual, they were wrong and it's been a rocket ship up, and Palantir just continues to click on all cylinders. But I do have one big problem with Palantir stock that I gotta share with you guys today. And I'll also give you what I believe fair value actually is for Palantir, so that way you don't get caught with basically overpaying for Palantir, which a lot of folks have done that as well. So if you like getting the truth about Palantir stock, even if it hurts a little bit, make sure you like the video if you like getting an honest take on Palantir. And also make sure you check out the pinned comment down there for my new channel where we talk about financial freedom and retiring early. That's what that channel is all about. You want content like that, make sure you check it out over there. And happy Valentine's Day out there to all you guys. And remember, the Valentine's Day sale for my group ends today, where monthly memberships are going away because we have the new course revamp that's going to go live shortly. So you'll still be able to get annual memberships, but monthly memberships won't be available. So make sure you take advantage if you want to take that new course plus the 4 other courses that we have in there. If you want to see my buy and sell alerts on real time in stocks like Palantir, or be able to talk to me directly about Palantir anytime you want, be able to see my watch list complete with price targets and so much more, guys, make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you before the monthly memberships go away. Okay, so we all know the ride with Palantir the past couple of years has just been crazy. I don't know what other word to use outside of crazy. I mean, Alex hair, that's pretty much crazy. The stock price movement, yep, just as crazy as his hair has been. And guess what? Both the bulls and the bears have been equally ridiculous and crazy as well. But none of that has really bothered me because I'm on the Tesla roller coaster too, and that is a way more volatile roller coaster and more unpredictable than Palantir is. So hey, check the Tesla roller coaster there if you want to see what crazy is like. That's what that ride is over there. But this one problem with Palantir has burned investors over and over and over again. So I'm going to give you that plus exactly how to deal with it. And I'll let you know my exact range for fair value as well. But to begin with here, we know something has just plagued Palantir since it DPO'd. And that is basically, it runs up on massive hype runs and people get caught. It runs up, people feel the FOMO, they buy, and then inevitably it just craters back down. And we remember that the first time, right? It basically shot off right off the bat almost all the way up to 40. And then basically cratered its way all the way back down, only to get caught up in another run again, crater back down, rinse and repeat repeatedly for years now before we finally got to this point in the stock's journey. But those runs in the past were fueled by hype. There was nothing else there. There was nothing tangible there. They were strictly hype run-ups. And then all of a sudden we get surprise profitability, like bang, something that is a real catalyst for a stock. And Wall Street beats it down to $7 per share, which again freaks everybody out because we finally get a real catalyst. And instead of it going to the moon like it was doing on all the hype runs that were based on nothing, it essentially cratered back down once again. But then AI became all the rage, and here we are up over $20. And no kidding, now they have had great earnings in between that time frame as well. So that's absolutely helped. But obviously the AI rage has helped, and we are well up over $20 now, and $30 is absolutely in sight and a very tangible place that we could reach very soon. Now I'll tell you guys where I see fair value here in just a second. But if we get up over $30 and it continues to run hard and makes that charge towards $40, there's no doubt in my mind that is pure hype and absolutely nothing else besides that for this stock. And I know, go ahead and blast me down in the comments right now if you want to. But you tell me in terms of valuation, in terms of fair value of a stock, how you can justify that run up to a $40 price target or so. Now, sure, maybe 2 years from now, absolutely. But we're talking about right now today and seeing that in range right now, that right there to me is a hype run. And that is my big problem with Palantir stock, is that it not only tends to run on hype, but it tends to run up big on hype. And then of course, all the YouTubers will come on and say, oh, well, $100 is absolutely fair value. Matter of fact, you're getting a steal at $100 right now. That's where it should be. And it just kind of creates this situation to where people are FOMOing into the stock, when in reality, it's strictly a hype run and people are banking on FOMO, and then it will eventually fall back down like it always does. And then we have a lot of bag holders left once again with Palantir stock. So how exactly do you solve this problem? And what is my fair value for Palantir? Well, first, you have to ignore the noise, both good and bad. Both the bears and the bulls have been ridiculously wrong with this stock. It's actually unbelievable. I'm not sure I've seen anything like it before. The bulls and the bears have both been consistently wrong with this stock. And then a lot of times we have the bulls switching to bears and bears switching to bulls and everybody just switching sides. I mean, it's been craziness all the way around. I mean, Alex bangs a table and all of a sudden it's a terrible stock. And then AI becomes all the rage and it's the best stock in the world and it's the next Nvidia. I mean, guys, I don't know. There's not these huge fundamental swings in the stock back and forth all the time. Actually, a whole lot hasn't changed about Palantir in terms of the fundamentals, which is what I've loved about the company from the start, is the fact that they've just been steadily growing and continue to add contract after contract and just being a steady growth beast. That's one of the best things I've loved about it. But yet, if you listen to the media or a lot of the bears and the bulls out there, it's just this crazy, schizophrenic, maniac type stock that just all of a sudden they change all the time when nothing's really changed. They've just continued to get better and execute better, nicely, consistently, and slowly and predictably, just like I like in a stock. So you gotta ignore the noise, both the good and the bad with this stock. I can't explain it. I don't understand why people gotta be so ridiculous about it, but that's the reality of this stock. Second is stick to your plan. If you're DCAing into the stock, then just continue your DCA. There's no reason to change your mind on a DCA or change up your DCA just simply based upon the stock movements. That's not the point in a DCA. The point in a DCA is to continue DCAing whether the stock's up, whether it's way down, whatever the case is. Now, I totally understand a lot of you guys want to do a modified DCA like I do. Like, hey, all right, it's going to trade in this particular range. And then if it gets down a little bit lower, I'm going to DCA a lot heavier. And then if it gets up above a certain range, I'm going to DCA a little lighter. That's okay too. It doesn't matter. But the point being, you have a plan for a reason. And a lot of folks tend to change their plan with this stock based upon the price movements. And maybe it's all the other noise too. I don't know. But the point being, people are changing their plans around this stock when the reality is you just need to execute your plan, or else you end up in a scenario where you're actually trading the stock instead of actually just being a long-term buy and hold investor. And trust me, guys, I've seen a lot of people turn into traders around this stock that were long-term holders for years. And then all of a sudden they started trying to trade the stock and thought they knew it, thought they were a genius, and they knew exactly where it was going to rise and fall and how these pretty charts and graphs and all that other good stuff like that. And they just ended up getting burned. So just stick with your plan. And third, create a valuation so you can tell hype from opportunity. Look, I can't stress this enough, and I know I say it all the time, and I know you guys hate it, and I apologize. But if you do not have a true valuation on a stock, you do not know if you're buying into a hype run, nor can you spot opportunity whenever a stock falls. That's the reality. Then you are 100% dependent upon the narrative, dependent upon what somebody else says, or anything else crazy like that. And trust me, when the stock's down, the narrative is going to be, it's terrible, run away, it's a waste of money, it's a dead company, whatever the case is. And when it's riding high, it's going to be, oh my gosh, you have to buy this. It's the next whatever, and you've got to have it. Learn how to create that valuation. I totally understand. My group may not be right for everybody. Join another group. Google it right here on YouTube. I guess Googling and YouTube, its own. Anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. Look right here on YouTube. There are plenty of videos out there that show you exactly how to value a stock and exactly how to do that. Learn how to do it so that way you understand intimately what's going on with this stock so you can identify a hype run or you can identify when it's a steal deal. All right, so let's get to what I have for fair value with Palantir stock. Now, you guys know I tend to be conservative, and I'm conservative for a reason. One, I'd much rather be surprised to the upside than surprised to the downside, so I tend to just kind of lean towards a more conservative approach with this. So my range is probably a lot lower than a lot of you guys are, but I understand that. And just remember, that's why I do it. I do it so that way for me, the surprise to the upside is an awesome surprise, and I'm very, very happy. However, if Wall Street decides that valuation is going to be a lot lower than that more optimistic number, I'm not really hurt all that much by it because I'm making my decisions based upon a much more conservative number. That's why I do that there. So for me, that range is just below $20 or so, up to about $22 or so right now is where I have it based upon the last earnings and based upon the growth rate I think we're going to see over this year that they told us we're going to get. That right now is what I'm willing to pay for it. Now, the good news with Palantir is that their EPS growth is basically dependent upon how much Alex wants to juice it. So if he wants to juice it more, that could change that valuation up a lot because obviously you're getting a higher EPS number. If he chooses to keep it conservative, then that's going to be kind of right in line with what I'm looking at there. So depending upon the multiple you want to use, Palantir, might very well be right around fair value. Obviously, if you're a little bit more conservative like me, it's a touch overvalued, but it's not terrible. It's not crazy. It's not anything else like that. That's the reason why I'm saying though, we start seeing, getting up over, 30 plus into the 40s. Okay, now you kind of see to where I'm not sure I can put a growth rate and a multiple there that makes sense at those prices, regardless of what I project out based upon what Palantir told me during earnings. That right there is why I have it. So right there, you guys can see that's kind of what I have for fair value there, but you have to do your own work. You have to do your own due diligence because, hey, maybe my multiple is too conservative and maybe you want to use a more aggressive multiple. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just how I choose to do it, how I choose to view it. But at least I'm getting a valuation. And even if you're more aggressive than I am, at least you're getting a valuation to where at some point in time as the price runs, you can tell whether or not it's overvalued or not. If you're not even doing that, then you're just gonna, be going off of whatever the heck somebody on YouTube says or somebody else. And now at that stage, they may be able to justify a $50 price target with a pretty chart and graph and all these little lines and all that other good stuff like that. And that's how we end up overbuying and overpaying, and then obviously running away whenever the prices are actually steal deals. Because those charts and graphs just flip and it makes everything look a lot uglier than what it really is and what's actually fundamentally going on with the company. And remember, if you want to see my watch list complete with price targets, see all my buy and sell alerts with Palantir, talk to me directly about Palantir anytime you want, ask questions on those Q&As or in my DMs. Make sure you check out the pinned comment down there where the Valentine's Day sale ends today, because hey, it's Valentine's Day, guys. And monthly memberships are going to go away as soon as that course releases there. So make sure you get that so you can be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8 figure Discord out there. We got so many more things coming. Use the stock analyzer tool. I mean, I'm forgetting about half the things that are in there. Just check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. It'll list out everything that's offered. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.